Hi, Amy.
Hi, Amber.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what you do.
I am an integrator. We work together, and I work with other entrepreneurs to help them integrate their values, particularly sustainability, into all aspects of their business and life.
What is your most sustainable habit?
Certainly driving my car, the Prius, and trying to ride share as much as I can, I think, because we live in LA and I am constantly driving around with kids, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
And using my water bottle. I brought it today because I needed to refill it. It's actually my daughter's water bottle.
What do you think, Julie? What do you think you could do better?
Oh,
Without being
there's
too hard on
always
yourself.
room for improvement.
Of course.
Probably, what can I do better? There's a lot of plastic in life. I reuse what I can, buy less stuff, but finding things that don't. It takes a little longer to find things that are better made.
Yeah.
So. Spending the time to do that, and looking for the companies that make things better. So. That's what I would say. Buy better. Yeah. Yeah. Buy less plastic too. Yeah.
Yeah. And what inspired you to start your business or be in this sustainable
World.
Yeah.
You know what? I went in my high school, or middle school and high school, I went to a friend's school, a Quaker school, and part of their values has always been environmental stewardship. And also there's just general, integrity values in that. And so I think I learned at a young age what my values are and how to put them out in all areas of my life and express them. And then when we started working together, really, and even before that, just starting with our values made sense. And I've done it working with you, Amber, and then also with the school even. What are our core values, and then how does it look? What does it look like in every way we live our life? It doesn't have to just exist in one area. People are used to thinking about it spiritually, but also in business. I think it's really important to make those decisions. And we've had a lot of fun trying to kind of build a business around values.
It's true.
And make that put that out in the world. And I think more and more it's the necessity. So for me, it kind of started early, and it's very natural. I didn't even realize it. It's just part of who I am and how I want to live my life.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what's the most difficult part about that, or about
Well,
your business?
Yeah, it's not easy to do. People, when you talk about core values, it's not the first thing people think about with their business in particular. They often think about profitability, but I think the research has shown too that paying attention to your values actually, dollar for dollar, profiting, increases. But it's just looking at the world in a different way and trying to reframe how we think about things. So it's whether what we're wearing or how we're operating our business or selling a product, recognizing what our values are and integrating them into all aspects of our life. It's really important. And it makes us feel, more fulfilled. And it's it's fun. We're having fun.
We are. It's beautifully said too. And lastly, what's your favorite ethical, sustainable, responsible product?
We were just talking about that, and I think it's my Melissa Joy Manning ring that Amber gave me when we launched Master and Muse by Amber Valletta on Youps.com.
It was your birthing ring.
It was my birthday ring. Yeah, so we birthed this amazing platform, this online store, and I love the ring because I love the organic shape as well as the kind of more formed shape and the different metals. And Melissa Joy Manning was actually the first brand we found when we had this idea, is there something where you can have style and substance?
Yes.
And here was the proof, and that launched us into thinking we could actually build a business like this fashion. So it's pretty warm in my heart. Yeah, it's a good story.
Thanks, babe. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm here with Rachel. Tell me what you do, Rachel.
I am co-founder of a clothing collection company. We collect clothes for recycling and reuse, and we also work with the fashion industry to help them eliminate clothing waste. Our main goal is to keep clothes out of the trash. Clothes aren't trash.
So cool. What's your favorite sustainable habit, personally? Could be anything, like you.
Oh, this one's kind of gross, but I try not to use I bring like a hanky with me for like, because I have allergies really badly, and I bring a hanky around. I wash it constantly, but yeah, that's like, I feel like it's easy, it's cheap, you know.
It's kind of old-fashioned and cute. It reminds me of my
grandfather. Me
yeah.
Too. Yeah. And I used
So
to think it was
sweet.
gross when he did that, but I'm now my grandfather.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And what is something that you can improve upon?
Everything. I mean, it's a date. I'm so not perfect. Like, I could use less. I could bring my my reusable coffee mugs around more. I could use less water. Perfection's the enemy of good, right?
Yes. Yes. What inspired you to get into the business that you're in? Like,
So I went to Parsons for fashion design, and I worked in the fashion industry for a time, and I just saw so much waste, and that was back in like 2008 to 2010, and I didn't really see many options around, but I knew like that there needed to be solutions, so I just wanted to be part of the solution.
cool.
Yeah.
And what is the most difficult part for you? Like, what's your pain point?
The most difficult part is talking about the problems in the fashion industry in a really relatable way, so people don't feel badly about their consumption habits, but feel empowered by solutions. And explaining that in bite-sized pieces that are palatable to anybody is probably the hardest part.
Yeah. I would agree with you.
Yeah.
And lastly, what's your favorite ethical product or sustainable product? Like I said, my car, because I'm always in my car and it's all electric.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So it could be anything. It could be, my friend had her composter.
My metal straw, because it's so
great.
transportable, and it's just it's neat. Sometimes I throw them away though, because I forget that they're in my cup, which sometimes is not disposable. So there's problems, but I have a lot of metal straws.
I think it's probably better to have a metal straw.
Steel is super recyclable.
Yeah.
I just learned how you can only make steel with part recycled other steel. So
there you go. So it's not that bad if
So it's not that bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Anna. Tell us what you do, Anna.
I'm a fashion designer working with research within the field of sustainable fashion, and mainly my focus is on the upcycling and the redesign of surplus production and post-consumer waste. And I'm also involved as the artistic director for a project called Retextile, which is also dealing with this, but within the fashion industry in Sweden. And I also work with this national platform, working with the whole value chain within textiles and fashion.
You do a lot. You're busy.
Yes, I'm busy.
These are pretty rapid fire questions, so really quick answers. What is your most sustainable or favorite sustainable habit?
To wear
Doesn't have to be fashion.
To wear secondhand garments, or in general, I buy everything secondhand, from the toys for my kids to interior stuff in my home, and in general, whenever I need to buy something new, I always go for the secondhand first.
That's awesome.
So,
what's something that you could improve upon?
Sorry?
What's something that you could do better or improve upon?
Yeah, trips like this.
Like flying.
Flying
Yeah.
from across the globe. On the other hand, I think that's quite necessary in order to make new connections for improvement, but that I could definitely be better on.
But it's somewhat not up to us either. How
No,
planes
I
are.
think that's a difficult part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What inspired you to either start your different business ideas or the way you live your life? What inspired you?
Ever since I discovered the magic of fashion or garments and what they could do with you, that was in my early teenage years, and what really since forever basically been in my inspiration is to add value to things of low value. It can be things that we consider to be out of trend or trash or any kind of waste that sort of, for me, always been a trigger or a sport to sort of put them back in somehow, and that could be to design them differently or style things differently, and to me that goes like 360 degrees. It goes for my home, how I dress, what I do with my kids and my family, and so on. So I think in general it's about, again, to add value and to prove that you still can use things or garments or materials, and that it can look both chic or expensive, or so that sort of transformation has always been a trigger for me to work with, both like with my dress that is
so
a one-off,
cool, your dress.
or also with the industry to make them see the potential.
Did you make that dress?
Yeah, I made
so
it.
cool.
Thank you.
It's really
It's a mix
cool.
of different dresses and vintage scarves and some scraps
really
I had in
beautiful.
my studio. Thank
It's
you.
really beautiful.
Thank you.
What's your favorite ethical product? If you had any, it could be anything. It could be like, I chose my car because I'm in LA, we drive a lot and my car's all electric. So what's your favorite ethical product? It could even be, my girlfriend said composting. It could be her composter. It could be anything.
Yeah. Oh, such a good question. My favorite ethical product. I don't know. The first
I
thing
know
that
it's
actually-
hard.
Yeah, the first.
Because you
thing
do
that-
a lot, so it's probably
yeah,
really hard.
But actually, the first thing that comes to mind, like ecological shampoo.
That's perfect.
It's great for the kids.
And
we
you
use
love
it every
it.
week. Yeah.
And you like it because you wash your hair.
Yeah, exactly. And we put it in the bathtub for making bubbles.
Yeah.
And it works for cleaning out dirt. So I think it's quite,
It's kind of it's like user friendly for everything.
yeah, top of my head.
Top of your
Shampoo.
head to the bottom of your feet.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Going to make the choice to buy less, and we can't, and it's hard to be like make buying less cool because people do want aspects of changing their outfits and things like that. So our Everlane's role is to offer a better alternative than what exists today, and continuously push the line forward and bring the industry forward. In our lives, we choose to do a different thing, which is not buy that much in general.
Cool. And what would you say?
My other favorite is, if I could pull it off, when you buy food, buy produce, don't buy packaged goods. That makes a big difference in trash waste.
And what's something you can improve on?
Everything. There's always opportunities to improve on everything. What could I improve on today? I still sometimes have to buy plastic water bottles because you forget your water bottle around or you lose it. I like books, and instead of Kindles, and then they come in a plastic packaging all the time, and that's a problem. So there's definitely aspects of life that no matter what are unavoidable, and travel apparently gives off a lot of carbon emissions.
You could go to the bookstore.
Oh gosh.
Don't you love a bookstore? I love a bookstore.
But then they're not going to have the books that I want. I'm buying like these obscure books. I am buying vintage, like I'm buying used books always, so that's at least good.
Okay,
but it
good.
is, but then it kind of, I could go to the bookstore. Where is there a bookstore anymore?
There's
No.
support
There's
the
like dog-eared
bookstore.
books and
Green Apple is good.
I don't know where that is.
What inspired you to live ethically?
Oh wait, one more.
Go ahead.
I live a block from work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
so
I
cool.
walk to work every day.
That's
and that's
very
it.
good.
Okay.
What inspired you to live ethically and to build your business?
I grew up in California, in the Bay Area, like 3 blocks from where Apple was built, like 3 blocks from where Yahoo was built, 3 blocks from like Cisco, all of that stuff, all these companies that were changing the way we were living our lives. And in the middle of California, which I think is probably one of the most forward-thinking in terms of climate. And so I think that combination of technology and trying to change the way people live lives and improving it to this like country or state that's so focused on climate, the combination of those two really had a, I think, profound impact on my life growing up. When you grow up in that, you're like, hey, I can do anything. I mean, there's a company that literally, I mean, I went to the same school that Jobs and Wozniak went to, and Apple's around the corner, and you're like, hey, if these two people who went to the same school that I went to can do this, what can't you do? And I think that really had a really big impact on my life.
And that's kind of what inspired you to start Everlane.
Yeah, it's always those sorts of people I think have always inspired me. People who just go out there and try to do something different and change it and say, hey, how can we improve the way things are for customers and people today?
It's cool. Really cool. Challenges? You were starting to talk about it in the beginning, like you were saying, oh, I don't want to go back to the beginning. So
I mean, I think one big challenge for sure is that you pointed out is we're trying, in a dream world, people buy less and everything's sustainable, but that dream world doesn't exist because people live their lives and they want convenience. And so we're here producing all this product in a world that isn't totally sustainable. And there's this huge challenge of how do you come to grips with that reality, and what can we do better? I think we've sort of come to this determination and realization that, hey, we're going to draw a line in the sand, and every year we're going to try to move that line forward, right? And it's going to get better, but it can't get better. If you try to do perfect today, there's nothing to do because you can't get there. So all we can do is every day make it better and better, and that's our biggest challenge, and that's our biggest opportunity.
We call it perfectionistic paralysis.
Yes.
People
there's
just
definitely
the fuckets.
Yep, the buckets. I mean, I think our denim is a good example. Like, we've got a sustainable factory, but we've got to get sustainable on the actual material generation. We've got to get sustainable on we've got a sustainable factory that cleans out the dye, but if we can make the dyeing process itself more sustainable, there's a lot we can do. In the denim that gets better. We've tackled the worst part, but there's a lot more left.
Yeah. And what's your favorite sustainable, ethical product and why? It can be anything. It can be anything from your electric car to solar panels to compost to, it can be anything. Clothes.
The ones that I feel like slightly nerdily accomplished by is one, soap, like bar soap, instead of like soap that comes in plastic containers. Bar soap comes wrapped in paper, so you're like, oh, I can feel good about that. And then I now use a deodorant that has no plastic packaging on it. So I found a deodorant that comes in.
It actually works?
It works. It works amazingly well.
You got to give that to me.
Where did I buy it from? It's from a site called Meow Meow Tweet, and it's totally, and it comes in a cardboard, and it's awesome. It totally works. It's amazing, and it has no plastic.
Awesome.
That would be my like 2 little ones, and then I like walking everywhere. I try to walk as much as possible.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
What's yours?
What's my favorite sustainable product?
Sustainable practice and sustainable product. Sustainable practice of yours and sustainable product. Everybody answer.
Sustainable practice, since I live in LA, would be my Tesla that I drive.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Okay.
And you?
Sustainable product.
Sustainable product would be. I'm really good about taking my my cloth bags everywhere.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And my water bottle, wherever it is, my metal water bottle. I'm really good about that.
Yeah.
So, and my favorite product, I said it, my car, right?
Your
Okay.
car. Perfect. Who's next?
Well, I guess my sustainable
Pressure's
practice. Yeah. I mean, ever since Renew, I water bottle everywhere and reusable coffee mug. That's like my biggest thing.
I want to get one of those metal straws or bamboo
Oh, yeah.
straws. You look crazy,
we
but
provide everybody at Everlane with these things called keep cups, and we have them all waiting. So like if people are going to get coffee, because you're at work, I'm going to go get a coffee. People take a keep cup, which is like a glass container with like a top to it, and they go with their empty keep cup to the coffee place, fill it, and then come back. So they're not getting plastic coffee to go, which is really
cool.
nice. What's
Feels
yours?
good. What's yours, Amy?
Composting, I think, at home.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
And
You gotta give me composting tips.
we'll see. And then taking my clothes too. Taking my clothes back.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a little bag at home where we put, my daughter just had an old bathing suit that wasn't working, putting it in there and then taking it back. It's still probably recycling, but it's better than putting it in the landfill. So that's probably the number one. And favorite product, I definitely have stainless steel straws. I've had them for years. I love those for my smoothies in the morning. And so they've been great. And my Prius, I've loved my Prius. I've had it for years. And with driving in LA, it's a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That was awesome, you guys.
That was
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
So I'm here with
Jess.
And Liz.
Liz. And what do you all do?
We are the co-founders of Taylor and Thomas, which is a women's sustainable luxury shoe line.
It's also cruelty free.
These are the shoes.
Oh, wait, do it again. And it's cruelty free.
Yep. We don't use leather because leather is not a sustainable material.
And each of you, one at a time, tell me what is your most sustainable habit?
My most sustainable habit would probably be eating vegan. The animal agriculture industry is huge and horrible for the environment, and animal cruelty is also horrible as well. So probably going vegan would be a great thing.
Obviously, I echo that a lot, but in addition to that, I'm really, really good about recycling, and recently I have switched out to using all glass Tupperware. And I bring my lunch everywhere.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what's something you could work on?
Ooh. Stand closer.
Yeah.
What's something we could work on? I think I need to get better about taking my reusable shopping bags with me everywhere. I get somewhere, I'm like, oh, I forgot it. So I need to get better about keeping those in my pocket.
Yeah. I think in addition to that, but I think switching over to an electric car would be awesome. I feel like I'm in the market right now for a car, and it would be a great transition.
Go electric if you can.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. And why did you all start your shoe company?
We started Taylor & Thomas in response to the fact that the fashion industry is one of the most polluting industries in the world. And as I said before, animal agriculture accounts for 19% of all greenhouse gas emissions, which is just crazy. So we wanted to do something better. And we really found like Stella McCartney is the only woman doing it in the luxury sector.
Exactly.
And we want to be up there with her. So
That's awesome.
we're doing it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And what is kind of like a challenge for you all in this arena for your business?
I'd definitely say getting our hands on the materials. There's so many innovations as far as materials that are coming from mushroom leather or apple skins, and grape leather. Veggia is another one that's coming out. But a lot of times the bigger companies can they kind of like take them before they get trickled down to the little companies. So as a
they
startup,
become like proprietary?
exactly.
We need to share.
Yeah. So when you're a small
Come on, big
fish,
companies, share with us.
it's hard to get your hands on the materials first.
Okay. And lastly, what is your favorite sustainable, ethical product?
Our shoes.
These shoes. Yay. They're so cute. Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. Hi, Deshelle.
Hi, Amber.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. Will you tell everybody what you do, what the name of your company is?
Yes, I'm Deshelle. I'm the founder of Gallery LA, and Gallery LA curates all ethical and eco fashion from emerging brands worldwide.
So cool. I'm going to take a quick little snap of her, all these cool clothes and accessories behind us. All right, back to you. What is your best sustainable habit? Like maybe you walk everywhere, maybe you ride a bike, maybe you always take a metal straw, I don't know. Anything, be anything.
Yes, I think my best sustainable habit in day-to-day life is just being aware of the products that I'm consuming. So trying to eliminate plastic wherever possible, taking my own bags, bringing my own utensils, using glass instead of plastic, kind of going anywhere. Yeah.
And what's one thing you could work? This is such a hard question because it feels like we could all do something, but what's one thing you could work?
You know, the one thing I think it was better for me to like kind of grow into is having a more vegan lifestyle and being really aware of the food that I'm eating, what it actually contains, and eliminating more meat.
Great.
I always say I'm veganish.
You're veganish. I like it. And why did you start Gallery LA?
I founded Gallery LA because I was a celebrity stylist and I could not find products for my clients or myself that were responsible.
It's amazing. And what's been the biggest struggle having this business?
Yeah, the biggest struggle being on a new wave of sustainability and building something that's new is funding for growth. Talking to VCs that want to focus on technology but not the sustainability aspect has been definitely a hardship, and I want to kind of grow Gallery LA as a platform that is technology driven but also has great personal interactions.
It's awesome. And lastly, what is your favorite ethical product or responsibly made product?
Ooh, that's a hard one because I have host all these brands.
It doesn't
right?
have to be fashion, but it could be.
fashion?
And it doesn't have to be. It could be anything. Anything.
That's a good one to think about.
I know it's tough, but it could be any.
Well, I will stay in the brand space.
Okay.
One of my favorite brands that we carry in Gallery LA is Study and Why, and they are just completely transparent from the tags to the materials, where it was made, and I think that they were one of the first brands that really inspired me to be more transparent throughout the whole production process with our brands.
It's awesome. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Tell our viewers your name.
My name is Taryn Hipwell.
And what do you do, Taryn?
I'm a founder of Beyond the Label and the author of How to Shop for Shift.
Cool. And where can we find Shop for Shift?
It is launching on Amazon November 15th, which is tomorrow, and we're really excited about that.
Awesome. What is your most sustainable habit?
I'm gonna give two answers.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm allergic to a lot of things, and I had an aha moment a couple of years ago. I was trying to figure out why secondhand clothes worked better for me, and it's because everybody else has washed out all of the residue from the pesticides, the bleach, the finishing agents, the dye off-gassing, and all I have to do is wash out their detergent and their body chemistry. So it's another added bonus to secondhand clothes. And then my other answer is because I'm allergic to everything, I use coconut oil as my moisturizer, so I don't have to have more than one thing in my body lotion.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah.
And what is your least sustainable? Like, what could you improve upon?
I have an 80-20 rule, so when I go traveling, if I'm in the Harajuku district and I see a pair of shoes that are kind of ridiculous, I give myself the opportunity to have a pair of shoes that are just not findable anywhere else, with the hope that I can show them to somebody that might be able to make them better.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I like that you give yourself permission to color outside the lines.
Yes.
And that it's not a black and white issue.
Yeah. And I think even with the 80-20 rule, when we talk about different brands, especially things like H&M, when there's a brand that's huge and is doing 20% something that actually is decent, I'll give them a gold star and call them out for their crap, but I'll still give them a gold star for some of the good stuff.
I like that. It's diplomatic.
Yes.
And it's getting people to do something rather than nothing.
Yes.
I really like that. Maybe just for our viewers, would you tell them 80, like...
What 80%?
Yeah, I understand 80-20, but...
Yeah. Well, it was actually a chiropractor that said when you're eating food, instead of going on diets, if you have an 80-20 rule, that you eat 80% healthy and 20% you're allowed to have pizza. And why? Because it makes you happy.
Yes.
But if you have 80% and you really focus on having a good amount of good stuff, you don't end up having the cravings and the crashes and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of put it into my clothes too. And so at this point, it's actually a little bit different. It's like, probably I'm almost to like 10% because I have a lot of sustainable fabric clothes, because I get really super excited with like recycled cotton or organic anything, or eucalyptus, like tencel, modal, like the really super soft fabrics that are just ridiculous. And I just get excited about nerdy fabric stuff and dyes and things like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What got you to write this book and do what you do? What inspired you?
What inspired this book is because I've had opportunities to meet incredible people, including yourself, and I wanted to get quotes from different people around the world that run organizations that are amazing. So I have people like Sass Brown, who is just ridiculous, and Marcy Zaroff, and oh my gosh, I could like list, there's probably about 25 people, even Ron Finley, who's this huge TEDx speaker, but he's on the grocery side of things. So for us, or the food side of things, so we also want to relate food and how you shop for food and ingredients to how you buy your clothes. So if you're thinking about what's in your t-shirt and the ingredients that go in it, and that your pores are tiny little mouths and they eat whatever you put next to it, you might wear less polyester yoga pants. Just saying.
Smart.
Yeah.
Well said. And lastly, what is your most favorite sustainable product or ethical product?
Oh wow.
Could be like your metal straw. It could be your cloth bags. It could be your all-electric car. It could be your composter. It could be makeup that's all ethical and responsibly made.
I'm gonna say actually for the win for students, the fact that Pact can actually make a I'm gonna start that all over.
Okay.
For the win for students, I'm excited that Pact can make a 3-pack of underwear be the same amount as what Victoria's Secret sells their 3-pack, and the fact that it's organic and actually kind of has similar shapes makes me happy, because then it lets people know that they can actually have something that's sustainable, and especially when you're on a budget, you can get your underwear, which is one of the things you can't get secondhand. No. So when we're thinking about students, it's the socks and the underwear that they
And what's the brand called?
Pact, P-A-C-T.
P-A-C-T.
Yes. And I'll give a shout out to MetaWear, because I know that they're starting to price their t-shirts at different levels too, so they're going to get back into that range, and they're ridiculous whenever it comes to organic cotton and even having water-saving organic cotton.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Yay!